In a rapidly changing world of where technology plays the bigger and bigger part in everyday life, more and more often we can hear the voice that girls and women should and could contribute more into these areas. And then organizations such as Women in Tech and all the other similar organizations fighting for the rise of women and closing the gender gap help to raise awareness and prove that women are underrepresented and that this closing this gap could be beneficial to the whole market. And my guest today is Gemma, who's a selected role model in Women in Tech 2019. And we're going to talk about that topic in a second. But before we start, could you please tell us something more about yourself and your background, please?
Yes, of course. Hello. My name is Gemma Rubio. I'm from Spain, but I live in the Netherlands since 6 years ago. And I work in communication and marketing, mostly for technological companies. So I started working on diversity and inclusion because I was doing projects with companies, and most of the time it was all men and me. I realized that it was not working right, and there was need a change. So also because I start working in a different country, I need to create a community for myself. And I thought that the best way was creating a community and working with people that have the same cause like me. So I started collaborating with associations with women to increase the awareness and to say to women that they can also do it, that it's possible for everyone, and also to help men because sometimes it's not woman doing it.
You have the initiative in yourselves, and it looks like you're very proactive and very vivid and energetic. Definitely, I guess that helps you in the role. So how did you become the role model of Women in Tech?
Well, I am still collaborating with other association called Female Venture. They organize events where the organizers are women and the speakers are women, but everyone is welcome to attend. And it's to show other women that they have start working in really diverse and mainly works like robotics or space. So usually you think about the space work or the cybersecurity, you think about a man, and there are really good women doing the job too. So they are the speakers that they tell their story about how they did it. And they show that it's not that difficult. You only have to work for it. It's different at the beginning because they are all men and you have to fight a little more to be there, but you can do it. So I was working there, and when the Woman in Tech started in the Netherlands, the organizer contacted me to see if I wanted to go to the event. So they created a huge event. They were almost 300 or 400, a big quantity of attendees. And in the event, they start talking about how difficult it is because at the workplace, there are mainly men. And when the higher is the position, the bigger is the quantity of men and less women. So they say, okay, what we need is more role model to show the youth that you can do it too. A woman can do it too. And not only to the girls, but also to the boys. Because sometimes the people don't think is that we are biased. We do what we see. So then they ask to the public who wants to be a role model. And I was one of the people that say. And then from all the people that they call 30 people, at the beginning it was 15, then they grow to 30. And we have been following a program of role models. We did a small events with really good trainers, and they were telling us how to behave and how we can do it better. How can we not teach people to communicate in a better ways to make the people aware of the problem that is in this society.
So should we dive deep into the topic? So looking at the statistics, it's obvious that in technology there's more men than women, and there is this gender gap. But
yes.
What do you reckon are the reasons for that? Why is that so?
I think everything starts when we are kids. Like for example, you go to buy toys, and it's the boy toys and toys for girls and toys for boys. And then you go to activities in the school, and the girls go to ballet, and the boys goes to judo, to say something. So now this is changing a little, but I think since the beginning we teach the boys to be boys and the girls to be girls, and the men have to be brave. They cannot be vulnerable. They have to be strong, and the woman have to be caring, and you cannot be bossy. So when you have your opinion, you are bossy if you are a woman, but if you are a man, you are brave. So it's like it's what we have been teach since we were small.
So it's this deep within us,
yes.
Not only people-wise but socially-wise.
Yes.
Okay, and why does it matter to close this gap? Why should we do that?
Well, it would be much better for everyone, not only for women, because I'm working in a women's association, but it's not only good for women, it's also for men. Because I have men friends, that they are vulnerable and they feel safe talking to me and being open, but they are in high positions at work and they cannot talk with other men because it's not men enough. So it's not good.
Okay, so it's like a kind of a trap.
So I think it's good for everyone that we can feel safe, and also for the world. The world where we live is really diverse, not only for women, but also for old people and young people and with different races and religions. And if you don't have all this represented in the company, then the products you are doing are not for everyone.
Okay, that's a fair point. So what can be done to close this gap?
Well, I think we need to start from the kids.
Education.
Education, yeah. I think education is a big thing there.
But later during the way?
Well, now we are trying to help companies and to show and to tell them, for example, in technology is not only to make a robot. Technology is everywhere. You wake up, you do a coffee with a coffee machine, has technology. You turn on the lights, it's technology. Everything is technology. And in technology, you can work in not only creating the technology, but for example, myself, I work as a communication and marketing, but I work with technology. So everything, every time more and more is technology.
Yeah, that's the way the world goes today. Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to involve the people in the company to create it more diverse in everything, so everyone feels welcome.
Okay, so not only well tech, but different sides of tech, like science perhaps and research as well. And there's technology, but there's also business, and then maybe fostering this entrepreneurialism within women can be beneficial as well. So let's say we have so bringing more women into technology, say into IT. You say is beneficial. So what are the benefits of having women within the IT team?
For example, there are products that are for women, and only women need it, and they are developed by men. So then they are not successful. You are going to use it, and you're like, okay, but why is made like this? And it's because the people who create it, they don't need it. They don't know how to use it. They don't understand.
So let's
So
call
you
it
have women in the team.
Lack of domain knowledge.
I lost your voice. Sorry.
So we can call it the lack of domain knowledge.
And also a lot of artificial intelligence is created by men. So then the artificial intelligence behave as a man. So it's not diverse.
Okay, that's also.
It will be beneficial. There are some products of artificial intelligence and so face recognition that they don't recognize Black people. So it's like, okay, we need to have a Black person in the team so that you can try and see, oh, it's not working. Let's check. If you don't have a diverse team, you don't know.
Okay, that's also a good point. From my perspective, here at Future Processing, we don't consider gender a factor that we look at when we hire, say skills, because it's the skill set, it's the approach, it's the mindset that matters, and you can be men or women and do your job well. But of course, looking at the teams where there's the more diverse teams, then definitely, from my experience, collaboration is better, and then women also bring some more creativity to the table from time to time. Of course, men can do that as well, but a good representation of both is the balance I think that we should aim for. Also, as you said, the positive energy and the ambition, and then being committed and engaged is also something that more women can bring, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
But
also we behave. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, please continue.
Yeah, the way we behave, men and women, is completely different.
It is.
To have a combination, then we can create better things. There is a study from McKinsey that say that the diverse teams have 35% more productivity and better results. So this is good.
Yeah, definitely, that's a positive statistic.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Men and women are from different planets, and I can see that definitely. But maybe putting putting the cat among the pigeons, because of course there's this huge trend now on closing the gender gap and raising awareness, and it's positive. But from time to time, I encounter, say, online job offers for women only. Isn't that maybe a step too far, or isn't that discriminating towards men? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, but it depends. Each example I will have to see, but sometimes there is a company that they have in the team 5 men, and they need a woman to have some diversity, or they need, sometimes there is a really young team and they need someone older, because it's also discrimination and not diverse with ages. Because sometimes the team is really young and then you don't have the point of view of the older people, or the other way around. So sometimes they say a woman because they need this kind of profile in the team.
Yeah, so I think what we agree on is that context is very important, definitely, and the right representation of not only gender but also, as you say, age, race, religion, whatever, can bring some benefits to the table. So were we to maybe shortly move towards the conclusion of this conversation, from my perspective, I would say that I believe that regardless gender, regardless race, ethnicity, class, age, whatever, everyone should have equal chances and equal opportunities when it comes to building the career, and diversity and inclusiveness that you're fighting for is essential and might be crucial in some cases, definitely, especially in tech. So what would be your word of wrapping up this conversation?
Yeah, well, I also think yes. Like, when more diverse the team, I think the better results. Because it's not the same the knowledge you can have when you are young than when you are older. For example, I'm from Spain, but I live in the Netherlands. So when I work with Dutch people, my point of view is completely different because I come from other culture. So it's also enrich the results if you want to grow big. So it's the background, the age, the gender, everything is valuable. It's good.
Yeah, as you're saying, two heads are always better than one, and then 2 points of view are well. It's good to have an outside point of view on a particular case, and if these points of view are regarding gender or age, that can bring value, I believe, to even IT projects.
Yeah,
So thank you for having this. Yeah, please.
You have a team with 3 men, white men, 30 years old. They will have the same.
I'm a white man, 30 years old. That was a bad example.
No, I mean the three like this. That now we are diverse. You are
Yeah.
a man with 30 in Poland. I'm a woman, a little older, from Spain in the Netherlands.
And we've really had a very interesting conversation. So thank you, Gemma, and thank you our audience for this being with us on this another episode of IT Leadership Insights by Future Processing. Thank you.
Thank you, Michał.